Hi, I'm Amy Porter, and this is my podcast.
Hi, guys.
My mission is to show people how to empower themselves through music, business, and media. I try to see as clearly as possible how I can help. I showcase the music that I've played and the people I've met along the way. I'm a wife and a stepmom. You might know me as a professor, a performer, a producer, a publisher, a recording artist. I'm the founder of a couple of nonprofits. Welcome in to my PorterFlute Pod. Welcome to PorterFlute Pod. It's Season 8, Episode 3, and you are in our Go Blue Flutes edition. In this episode, we asked our graduating students from 2025 some exit interview questions. What did you think of SMTD, or the School of Music, Theater, and Dance? Did it meet or exceed expectations? Did you feel equipped to be in the music world better than you did when you got here? What was your favorite thing about SMTD? About the studio? About the experience? What advice do you have for applicants in 2026? And finally, where do you see yourself 5 years from now? First up, Isabella Carucci from New York. Welcome to PorterFlute Pod. I'm so glad you're here.
Hi, my name is Isabella Carucci, and you might recognize me from Season 7 of this podcast, but I'm actually here today to talk about the fact that I recently graduated with a Bachelor of Music in Flute Performance and a minor in Academic Writing from LSA, which is University of Michigan's College of Literature, Science, and the Arts. I absolutely loved my time at SMTD so much. I performed in so many groups and different performing spaces, and performing is my favorite thing to do. So I was able to perform with a flute, cello, and piano group. We rehearsed about 6 hours a week for an entire year and received coachings twice a week, which was amazing. And I was also able to do a flute, clarinet, and piano group 2 different times with 2 different groups, a lot of wind quintet, a lot of wind sextet, which is wind quintet with piano. And also at SMTD, if there's availability, you can double in orchestra and band, and I took full advantage of that opportunity. I was so excited to be in 2 different large ensembles, especially as a freshman and sophomore. So I would highly recommend that to anyone incoming to SMTD, especially in the flute studio. I had so much fun just getting to know other students and playing for other faculty members. The conductors at SMTD are so personable and want students to succeed. Every season when I was auditioning for summer festivals and even just other auditions, I would always play for my conductors that I was currently playing under, and they were always so helpful. It was always so good to get another mock audition in before the real audition and get a different perspective. So I would also highly recommend that to any incoming students. Also, record yourself when you practice, you guys. If I imagine my life in 5 years, I would say that I would be an orchestral flute player with some private students. I want to expand my current organization that I run with Ella Hursh, another flute player here at University of Michigan who just graduated, and Maddie Levy, an oboist and composer who graduated with her master's about a few years ago. We're really hoping to make that a big organization, which would be great, but generally focused on orchestral performance, chamber performance, and hopefully being faculty at a small summer festival or TA. My absolute favorite aspect of SMTD has been my lessons with Professor Porter. I am just so thankful to have studied with her for 4 years. I think that if you record yourself when you practice and you come in super prepared to your lessons, you will just have an entire world opened up to you by your lessons here. And I think that I learned so much from just listening to her perform, being around the amazing faculty, going to faculty concerts, always go to faculty concerts, and all of the ensemble concerts. You just learn so much. And I'm so thankful that I had friends who wanted to go with me and that we all encouraged each other to do that when I was here. It was great. The flute studio here is just so supportive, so amazing. Everyone shows up so prepared to studio class, which is fantastic. And I am gonna miss it here at University of Michigan when I go on to my master's. So I really think that anyone who's really serious about flute playing and who loves to just perform and teach, you should come to University of Michigan.
Next, we have Joyce Wu from New Jersey, and we have Lydia Wu from Taiwan.
Hello, my name's Joyce, and I'm one of the graduating seniors this year from the studio. I'm just going to share a couple of thoughts and some takeaways from these past 4 years. It has been such a long journey, and it was absolutely wonderful. I still remember when I first got here, I was really nervous and vividly remember awkwardly practicing in the practice rooms, feeling like that imposter syndrome creeping in. But that changed almost immediately when I met my studio. Everyone here is so welcoming and supportive. Not only do we help each other grow through giving each other honest feedback, we also create a space where I felt it was safe to take risks and try new things. Now, looking back on these 4 years, I feel like I've not just grown as a flute player, but also as a person. I feel way more prepared, whether it's performing, rehearsing, or collaborating with other peers. And these 4 years, I really gained the confidence and tools to move forward in the music world, and it's all thanks to the people here and the opportunities. As for one of my most memorable experiences, it's quite recent. It was going on the symphony band tour. It has been years since the school done one, so it felt really special, especially since it's my last year. We got to play for younger students and peers, sharing our love for music with so many different communities, and it just really reminded me of how special and meaningful it is to be a musician. As for advice for applicants in the next cycle, I'd say be open, be vulnerable, say yes to opportunities that come around, even if they scare you a little. I feel those experiences are really the ones that get you out of your comfort zone, and you learn so much from those. And do not worry about being perfect. It's more about growing and learning, even if you make mistakes, and feel this is such a great place for that. Looking ahead for the next 5 years, I hope to be in medical school. That's what I'm preparing for now, but I also still see myself playing flute, and hopefully, whether that be a local or a university ensemble, music will always be a part of who I am, and I still hope to keep that part of me alive no matter where my path goes. And finally, I want to give a huge shout out to Professor Porter for her guidance and support these past 4 years. I would definitely not be where I am today without her support. So thank you. Well, bye everyone.
Hi, I'm Lydia Wu, and I just graduated from the Master of Music program. Starting at SMTD was the start of a whole new chapter for me. It's been an amazing experience, challenging at times, but really inspiring. And it's helped me grow in so many ways, not just as a musician, but as a person. I'm really thankful for all the chances I've had and the support I've received along the way. I feel much more ready to face the music world now. My confidence as a musician has grown, and I've developed stronger ensemble skills and a clearer sense of my musical voice. Being part of the orchestra, contemporary directions ensemble, and studio classes really prepared me for what's ahead. One of my favorite things about SMTD was the Flute studio. The atmosphere was really warm and supportive. Everyone shared ideas, gave feedback, and encouraged one another. It felt like being part of a music family, which made the experience even more special. For anyone applying in 2026, my advice is to stay open and curious. Don't be afraid to step outside your comfort zone, ask questions, and take on new challenges. That's where you'll grow the most. Looking ahead, I see myself playing in a professional orchestra and continuing to collaborate with inspiring musicians. I also hope to start a chamber group where we can explore creative programs and connect more closely with audiences. No matter what, I want to keep growing and sharing music in meaningful ways.
Next up, Mia Cotton from Texas.
When reflecting on my time at SMTD, this was always my dream school. I always knew I wanted to come here, and somehow after 4 years, this experience has been far more than what I ever thought it could be. Leading into the next question, I feel so much more equipped to go into the musical world, not necessarily because I've improved as a player, but because it's really widened my horizons for, I think initially I was like, well, I just want to play in an orchestra. And the school did a really great job of showing me like that I can have this one dream to play in an orchestra and I can also do so many other things. I think it's really taught me how to be flexible, and having access to some of the best instructors has led me to have networking and connections in places that I never thought were possible. My favorite thing about SMTD is just definitely the wide variety of experiences that it offers. I've gotten to take classes for Alexander technique, music education. I've gotten to play with the Lincoln Center Jazz. I've gotten to play Baroque flute. I've played in musicals, and I've taken classes for arts administration. And I think as well as chamber music. I think all of those things combined, SMTD does a really great job of providing you with so many experiences, and now I've come out feeling a lot more flexible as a result of that. My favorite thing about the studio is definitely studio class. I think having 2 hours every week where we all just, there's constant playing. It's fun to see my friends, especially when we get busy throughout the semester. And it's also just really inspiring to have so many amazing people in the studio. My biggest memory is always just rushing to practice after studio ends because I felt so inspired by everyone's playing. My favorite thing about the experience is how SMTD, I wouldn't say is necessarily a small school, but it is a very well-connected school. My roommate that I had for 3 years, she was in theater, and it was really awesome that my connections were even outside of music. I had so many friends around school, and I really liked the environment that SMTD creates. My advice for applicants in 2026, definitely stay open, be confident, and know that you are in really good hands with Professor Porter. Where do I see myself in 5 more years? I will have hopefully gotten my master's degree. I see myself freelancing with some arts administration, teaching lessons, and continuing to apply for orchestral jobs. Thank you so much.
Finally, we have Stanley Medal winner Ella Hursh, the highest honor you can win as an undergrad. Ella's from Wisconsin, and she's a music education and flute major. Also, the roommate of Isabella Carucci for their entire time as flutists in the same studio. Here is her amazing speech that she gave on May 2nd in Hill Auditorium. You can also see it again and again on the YouTube channel at the School of Music, Theater, and Dance.
Good afternoon, everyone, and congratulations to the class of 2025. It is truly an honor to stand before you on such an exciting occasion. In truth, I have never questioned that teaching music is what I will do for the rest of my life. There have, of course, been some trying moments, on more than one occasion, believe it or not, involving a student armed with a wind instrument and too much soda consumed all too quickly, but never anything that a deep breath in the parking lot can't fix. When I came to Michigan, I already knew with all of my being that I wanted to teach music, but I don't think I could have actually told you why. I knew what music meant to me and what it had done in my own life, but it wasn't until my time here that I came to understand the role of music and all of the arts in our world, what our job really is when we leave here. It is our job as artists to create. Art is how we perceive and experience humanity, and the only way we can begin to understand it. Studying and creating art allows us to study ourselves as humans, our flaws, our differences, our triumphs, our dreams, our ways of living and loving. Through our art, we must dissect the power structures at play in our world, all while storytelling in a way that centers the real people at the heart of the systems that we explore. The way we represent humanity as we create art can transform perspectives and create the connections that nurture empathy. Moving our audiences and our students moves the gears of social change. It is our job as artists to bear witness to the history being made in our present and reflect on the times we live in, to see, feel, express, and engage with the realities of today. The arts are the bank of our collective memory, where we must preserve stories and tell history before it can be swept under the rug. Art is where we show the courage to stand firm for what we know is right and not let the instruments of intimidation drown out our music. It is our job as artists to raise our communities up. None of us, myself included, would be here without the diverse community of scholars that we have had the privilege of being a part of at Michigan. I have found that one of the most important things you can do for a student is to make them feel and know that they belong, that they are valued and celebrated in their genuine entirety. The arts have that power. What better testament is there to the indispensable nature of diversity than the richness of arts and culture in our country and the prospect of what we can create if only we make it together? As pianist and singer Hazel Scott said, "Who ever walked behind anyone to freedom? If we can't go hand in hand, I don't want to go." So join hands as you walk forward into the next chapter of your life, where we will continue to make real change. I see a world where, through our work, no matter who they are, all people may have the joy of dancing at their weddings and singing lullabies to their children, where what has long since been abolished from our country's law finally begins to be abolished from its way of thinking, where the sounds of laughter and celebrations from the myriad of cultures that make our country great fill our ears, our streets, and our hearts. What we have gained from our time here does not give us an opportunity to make an impact on the world, but an obligation to. Believe in the power of art, and when you feel overwhelmed by the world we live in today, take comfort in the company that you are in today. Accomplished artists, educators, scholars, and creators, and the friends, family, and mentors who helped us get here. Remember this feeling, and take comfort in knowing what we will do. Smile at the sunrise that we will create. When you leave here today, I invite you not only to celebrate all that you have accomplished and the amazing artists and leaders that you have become, but to also celebrate all that you will yet do to change the world. We are more poised in this moment than ever to do it. Always creating, always teaching, always together, always pressing forward. Thank you, congratulations, and let's get started.
Thank you, Ella. I appreciate your sense of obligation to make change in the world through arts education. Do you have questions about the University of Michigan School of Music, Theater, and Dance? Then please visit my website, amyporter.com, and there you will find frequently asked questions, the answers about Michigan, including where our alumni are now. Thanks for being in PorterFlute Pod. I'm so grateful for you.